The floor is open.
In Amrit Kaal. There are three aspects here, domains. One is LEB 2020, another is education, inclusive education, and third one is Amrit Kaal. I love to tell, this is era Modi era. Once upon a time it was Gandhiji era, it was Nehru era, it was Indira Gandhi era, it was Rajiv Gandhi era, now it is Modi. Very seriously, by forming a committee on LEP 2020, government has taken a revolutionary step to change the academy. Why we need to change education? Why we need to change syllabus? Why we need to change teachers? Why we need to change? Yes. Thank you. Why we need to change research? Why we need to change the present life values? LEP talks about that. LEP talks about reaffirms the bridging of the social category. What is that bridging? There is a difference between tribes and Dalits, Dalits and upper caste, that we have to bridge. How to bridge? Through quality education. Identify in excess participation and learning outcomes. How to make the students enabled to learn. What are the gaps? Is there any barriers of language? Is there any barriers of communication? Is there any barriers of text, teachers? That we have to identify. Development of special educational zones, SCZDs. Before that, Niti Ayoga has identified. Peter, will you stop this samosa? Samosa serving can be done now, so that comfortably they can enjoy. So, aspirational districts have been identified. Visakhapatnam rural is an aspirational district. Srikakulam is an aspirational district. Vijayanagaram is an aspirational district. What is that aspirational district? There are columns where education, primary education, what is the outcome? Employment ratio, what is the outcome? Women health, access to health, and even the quality of water, employability, the happiness index, all these matters. So we are in a zone of aspirational districts, nothing but backward districts. So economically, our place, Uttarandhra, may be backward, but what about, we have to talk about our own place, our own motherland. Whether we have culturally we are very strong, literally whether we are very strong, people are in active role of music, art, culture, culinary art, making people happiness. These index also they focus on socio-economically disadvantaged groups. I need not tell poor people also. SEDGs include SCSTs, PVTGs, DNTs, NTs and SNTs also. There's no much time to talk about all these people. SCs, STs we know, PVTGs we know, Savara we know, DNTs, denotified tribes. I am from earlier denotified tribes, because before that my tribe was criminal tribes, declared by English people after 1947, Nehruji, after 4 years, maybe around 49 or 50, they remembered, yes, some people are there still, they are declared as criminal tribes and they were denotified. That is called denotified. NTs, that is nomadic tribes, or SNTs, that is semi-nomadic tribes. I contributed a lot in this area and I have given examples. I can give examples in my book. There are examples about what is NTs, what is SNTs, what is women, what is transgender. Earlier there were only 2 columns in our all forms, all filling up forms, that women and men. Now, thanks to the government, we have included another name of third gender, most exclusive community. They have been into, inclusive zone also now. Preservation and assimilation of tribal knowledge in the curriculum framework. Tribal knowledge, what is that? I will tell sometime in between. Multilingual education and instruction in mother tongue also. Multilingual education is very good, most important, because if we give our education to our children from unknown language, any foreign language, for me, mother tongue, Marathi is a foreign language for me. For a Marathi boy or girl, Gondi is a tribal language, foreign language for them. Gondi tribe children, for them Hindi is a tribal, foreign language for them. They are all connected. We live between Telugu area only, Telugu linguistic area only. But there are zones that they speak their own mother tongue. They speak their own mother tongue. For example, Savara, Jadao, they have their own mother tongue. They love to speak, they love to learn, they love to deliberate in their own mother tongue. Multilingual education is why important, because we have many states, many linguistic boundaries, but we have one language, common language, that may be Hindi, that may be English. I am not talking about Hindi is great or English is great or Telugu is small. No, every language is a national language. Telugu is a national language. English is a national language, Hindi is a national language, and we know our own linguistic boundaries. But in education, we need more than one language. If we are studying in Telugu medium, we need to know English also. We need to know Hindi also. We need to know Udiya also. Why we need to know? Because we have to make business. We have to, I visited many tribal districts of Odisha state. There, you go everywhere, Telugu people are. In colleges, Telugu teachers are there. In high schools, Telugu teachers are there. In market, sellers and buyers are Telugu people. And in my city, Vijayanagaram, we can find anywhere Udiya people. So we are internally connected. We need to know more languages. Knowing more languages, it is more beneficial, because you may be pursuing physics here, chemistry here, or English here, or Hindi here, or Telugu here, but we don't know where I will get job. You may get job in Himalaya. You may get job in Pashchim Bengal. You may get job in somewhere to teach Telugu, to teach some other physics, chemistry, mathematics, or social science. Then English will come to help you, come to our risk. Hindi will come to our risk. So multilingual education is necessary, at least in the primary level, 1 to 7. Universal access to quality education to all children. It's so simple. Quality education to all. Quality education to only learned people is not necessary. Rich people is not necessary. Higher caste people is not necessary. Quality education to everybody. Quality education, no reservation, in quality education. Quality education What is that quality education? We all know quality education is what our director was talking about, that is thinking capacity. That the quality education should inspire us to think further. Textbooks based on tribal languages. Multiple mode of education with multiple entries and exit options. Tribal languages textbooks, thanks to Andhra government, Honorable Chief Minister, Andhra state of Andhra Pradesh is much ahead about tribal education. Odisha is also very good, doing extremely good through ITDA, POs. Government of Andhra Pradesh is doing extremely good job in tribal education, preparing tribal texts in tribal languages, even pictures, even storytelling arts, and with skill education. Our state is doing extremely well. Multiple mode of education with multiple entry and exit. Multiple entry and exit is another wonderful space for education in NEP 2020. For example, while studying PUC for +2, I left college because of poverty. Afterwards, I worked hard to enter into education again. Now, after implementation NEP, it is part of game now. It is part of law. Anybody can join here. After one semester, the girl can join the same course, same class in Vijayanagaram also. After completion of first year, she can go to Srikakulam also. After second year, she can go to even Anantpuram also. Options are open, and our credits will follow in a DigiLocker mode. There will be no problem. We should carry always certificate. It is not necessary now. In DigiLocker, everything is available. Major challenges of tribal education, it is remoteness of habitations because of very remote place. Every day you can read. Some tribal village people, they have gone for strike for drinking water. Another tribal village people, they are fighting with government because there is no road access, there is no water body, there is no in between there is nala, there is a small river, there is a flowing water. They can't travel. Their children can't go to school. They are suffering. They can't go to hospital. Every day, if you are ready, I have plenty of paper cuttings. These paper cuttings I am collecting to put before the government of India how disadvantaged groups of this India, our land, how they are facing difficulties to get even a simple drinking water. Lack of traveling facilities, insufficient infrastructure facilities, illiteracy of parents, I would like to tell. Wherever you go for admission first year in primary education, pre-primary education, or high school or college, we teachers used to tell, bring your parents. They available, not butter. Bread and butter is English word, English phrase. Or yes, roti and dal, roti and papu. That's it. So we have to redesign our education. What is the role of parents in education? In our family, tribal people, all father always drunkard, right? Any tribals are there here? I am here one. They are afraid of, or I don't know. You must tell openly with pride. That's right. Jokingly I used to tell, people used to tell me, you are so great man, professor. Scotch is there, we can drink. I used to say, no, I won't drink. They will ask why. Because my father consumed my quota also. Father and mother also. Father and mother also. Mother and father also. Is it possible? It is possible. I have seen such a teacher, so I became literate. 1 to 7, I have never gone to school. I was taking care of my family buffaloes. But there was a young teacher in our village. He hired me to fetch water for his home, clean his vessels and home, and spending time was a very difficult task for him. He started teaching me, and I passed the semester. I tell, many such stories are there within you also. Life is mysterious than mysteries. A buffalo chaser became vice chancellor twice in this country. So, I request you all, including the policy makers, what is the role of parents in education? It has to be divided. Educated parents, half educated parents, educated parents, but do they have time to spend with their children? Because father, mother, both are working. Children are eating what they are eating. When mother and father both are working outside, children will come from school, come from college, come from playground. What they eat? Noodles, ready-made noodles. After 5 years, diarrhea. After 5 years, another many more things. But in poor communities, this problem is not. I'm not against anybody. I am for spending quality time with the children. Of course, I am also culprit. I have never spent my quality time with my family. So, lack of illiteracy of parents has to be think over. You are all good teachers, good students. Work on this area. How we can make a bridge between teachers and students. Parents may not. Parents may be or may not. Or they may be supportive or may not be supportive. Parents usually in villages, in rural areas, in tribal areas, after completion of my 7th standard, my father said, no, from tomorrow you have to go to a county shop, they are also counting. You make pudiya and you have to serve. He agreed to give you 50 rupees yearly. Salary was 50 rupees. It was a great attraction for my father. That night I left home, ran away, joined ICSSR hostel, I became vice chancellor. But whoever will run from their home, they are not so lucky like me or like Gautama Buddha. Lack of teachers. Fortunately, there is no problem in government of Andhra Pradesh. It is there in Karnataka, it is there in Odisha, it is there in Chhattisgarh, it is there in Madhya Pradesh, central India especially. Lack of appropriate pedagogy. What is that pedagogy? It is teaching methodology, reaching the students' methodology. What is that methodology? According to me, pedagogy is purely individual. Teacher to teacher, it is different. A teacher has to devise her own pedagogy, how to reach students. I have experienced some best teachers. teaching poetry through dance. I have seen one teacher who is successful mathematics teacher in Karnataka. Fortunately, he is from my village. I saw in YouTube. Then I visited whenever I was there in my village. I visited and I supported his science instrumentation center through my NGO. The mathematics teacher is very much successful. How he has believed that my students are good in mathematics. He doesn't know anything, but he believed that they are good in mathematics and I have to make them success. And he is successful. A small interior village, Halavagalo, where he taught 3 years, they out of that 3 year students, maybe 7-10 joined engineering, 1 joined medical. Out of that small village, most backward village. So the success rate of education not depends upon infrastructure, not depends upon hi-fi accessibility. It is the quality of teacher, involvement of teachers to believe that our students are extremely good. They are here to excel. That's enough. That is pedagogy. Lack of real life application of knowledge. Lack of real life application of knowledge. In maybe 1 year before, our PM has called all centrally funded institutions, vice chancellors, directors, and head of the institutions in Banaras. It is called as Kashi Educational Conclave. His lecture was lab to land and land to lab. I wrote a big article in English about land to lab and lab to land. What is that land to lab and lab to land? See, yours is a research institute, PG institute. It has been recognized as a research center. What should be the research? The research must be how to manage garbage of Visakhapatnam city. How to recycle wastewater. It is called real life application of knowledge. Given we have, Visakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, Srikakulam are surrounded by 300 plus chemical industries, labs. So we have to take benefit of these infrastructure who are naturally available to our students as well as research scholars. Our professor of chemistry is with me. We try to bridge academia and industry together. We are ready to make syllabus according to the fancy of the industries, because industry needs particular medicine for particular ailment. For example, sickle cell anemia, you may be knowing, thalassemia, you may be knowing. These are the most dangerous ailments of tribal communities and women of many communities. Since 6 years I am fighting with the government of India that a big project should be, money should be reserved for it. Thanks to government of India, this time 16,000 crore worth budget has been given to this ailment, research sciences. And you will be happy to know our university we have taken a big project for thalassemia and sickle cell anemia, and our researchers, our scientists are working in cardiac as well as this is how I can give plenty of examples how we can research on. For example, I would like to tell you, don't take otherwise. For women hygienicity is more important. Our women are suffering because of very small comforts. For their hygienicity of my mother, of my wife, of my sister, of my children, of my grandchildren, we need hygienic pad, very cheap pad, should be available for peanut rate. But it is luxury now. So we can research on, our scientists can research on how it can be pad can be made very throwaway price. And not only throwaway price, how to make it freely, and as well as how it after use, how it can be filled in the land without any hesitation or without any problem. You know, the garbology, which I am fond of talking, there must be a science should come up in our country that should be called as garbology. Garbage science. Garbage science. There is lot of opportunities in garbage science, garbology. We have to make syllabus, and we have to make courses, and we have to make textbooks. Who has to make textbooks? You have to make textbooks. Because we are the garbage makers. You know? We are the creators of garbage, not poor people. Rich people, middle class people, we make garbage. And our municipal corporation will dump it in water bodies. That water again will be supplied for us to drink. See the garbage cycling. We can work on this. Non-recognition of tribal knowledge. What to do? I should not talk about this. Not only tribal knowledge, any knowledge system of India never considered as knowledge system. I will give you a small example which is everybody knows. We have 4 children in our home. My mother never seen the face of school. I am talking about your mothers also. 4 children and our mother, poor lady, prepares food. 4 of us. I am not comfortable with mirch. You know mirch, you know. Another is not comfortable with masala. Another one is not comfortable with curd rice. Another is not comfortable with simple food, very spicy food he needs. While making a simple food, she satisfied 4 of us. How? That is culinary art. Right? That is art of making food. Seasonally, the same food will be changed by our mother. How she can make? Adding some species, lessening some species, she prepares. But our knowledge system, whether is ready to accept this mother of you and me, as culinary art expert? I am asking you. No. So, you and me should accept knowledge system means I am talking to you. I am trying to reach your heart and head and hands. It's Gandhiji's word. In 1930, he spoke about Nai Talim and he said education means a process, work process from heart, head and hand. Now education, what is that education? It is only head, not heart also. Hands, no. Hands should not be dirty. Hands should be very clean and very polished. But who has to serve you? Somebody should serve me. What about you? I am here to make decision to serve me. This is not Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system is Work is worship. Work is worship is Indian knowledge system. So we need to know every father, every student, they have their own knowledge system in their DNA. In their DNA. What is the role of teacher here? We have to recognize their DNA. For skill education, I believe, for skill education, you have to believe that everybody knows one or the other skills. I know 10 skills. I can work as a coolie. I can work as a driver. I can clean my laboratories. I can drive my vehicle. I can clean my vehicle. I can make my puncture. I can make my food. I can clean my clothes, iron my clothes. I can lecture. I can hear your lecture. These are the skills, right? Listening is a biggest skill. In fact, India is always in a preaching mode. We are all in a preaching mode. But once upon a time, India was a patient listening culture. Panchatantra always teaches. How many students you know Panchatantra, right? Students. Great. Better show your face. Who raised her hand? Great, brave girl. She read Panchatantra. It is available in Telugu also. Today you must go to market, purchase and read. Please stop. Sit down. You must read Panchatantra. Then only you will come to know what is wisdom, what is education, what is good and what is bad. The status of tribal education and the promises of NEP 2020. Here, it is available with Principal Saab. I will just move. Tribal education is below that Indian average education. Out of men and women, tribal women education is below that men education. Promoting tribes and other SCDGs, strengthening Ekalava model residential schools for tribals. This is the budget allocation which I have taken, and these things I have written extensively in English newspapers, already published many articles. Promoting tribes and other SCDGs, enhancing education through mother tongue and in tribal languages, appointment of multilingual medium educators, regional and tribal languages for educational inclusion of tribal and SCDGs in STEM education. I would like to take some time here. What is that STEM education? Science, engineering, technological, engineering and mathematics education. Why our women are weak? I am not talking about tribes now, SCs now, Muslims now. The whole Muslim women community, why they are much behind national average in STEM education? Why they are much behind of science, research and education? Would like to tell something? Somebody will tell something about why our women are much behind the STEM education? No worry. I would like to tell something here, because our society, Indian society, never thought of women can become a game changer. What is the role of education in a young woman? To prepare her for marriage, right? To prepare her for marriage, that's it. Who has made this? Our whole society thought of girl child has born. We have to prepare her for her marriage to somebody's family, good family. But education talks about the role of women in science, the role of women in in technical education, in mathematics education, in science education. I have a survey in that book. There must be one example that for example, in BSc, there will be more than half girl students will be there in first year BSc. More than 60% will be girls. Okay. In MSc, there will be again 50% girls will be there in MSc. But in PhD, there will be 40% girls will be there in PhD. After post PhD, in research, there will be only 33% girls. Where they have gone another 30%. That society has to research. They have gone for domestic purpose. They married, they produced children. Our helplessness because of money, because of poverty, because of religious constraints, because of health constraints, because of obvious reasons which you and me don't know. So, NEP talks about these women who have a great power, excel into science education, technical education, research education, and at the same time, tribes also, they are doing extremely good in science, especially in ethnobotany. Botany students are here? Yes. Ethnobotany is a special botany. We tribes, we need not to learn ethnobotany. We will be able to teach ethnobotany because we live in ethnobotanical environment. Tribes and tigers never fight each other. Elephants and tribes never fight each other. Cheetahs and tribes never fight each other because they know each other's language and communication. If you are, I may be what tribe, but I'm a plain tribe now. If I see a snake, I will run away. If I see a cheetah, I will be afraid of. But tribe, who lives in forest, they are not afraid of. They know how to go away. I have hundreds of stories. My book is coming on Tales of Tribes, where I quoted such stories. One story I will tell. In Madhya Pradesh, border of Gujarat, one lady, poor lady, has one goat, tribal lady. One fine evening, a big tiger came and taken her goat. Her husband was, sitting there, he could not do. She came with a pot of water. She saw and she took her husband. Chalo, we shall go and chase the tiger and we shall bring the goat again. And with her loud eyes, she started cracking, abusing the tiger, and she chased the tiger kilometers together along with her yelling husband. Finally, the tiger, because of her voice, left the goat and ran. And it was almost dead. She brought the goat, cleaned it, and made it mutton and sold it to everybody. This story I wrote in my mother tongue Kannada in Diwali special issue of Kannada. Many people asked me, Kattimani, you have such many stories, you must write. I said after 70 years I will write. This is STEM education. I would like to, Principal Sir, seriously, we can make a seminar on STEM education. We can make a seminar on STEM education. How we can work on educational difference, educational development, financial sector, inclusive sector, reaching the last mile, infrastructure and investment, unleashing the potential, green growth, youth power, and financial sector. Center has decided to include about 49,000 crore for the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in rural areas. We can see, cement houses in Padero, Chintapalli, or Sitapeta, for all people. We can say without verifying, we can say this is central project. Otherwise, poor people will be there in their huts. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission NRLM launched a national campaign Sangathan Se Samruddhi, leaving to rural women behind. Leaving no rural woman behind. Aims to mobilize women into self-help groups. Leaving no rural woman behind. It is again, what is that? Our women, especially poor women, spend their whole time for collection of water, collection of firewood. If our policies will solve the chulha problem, gas problem, making potable water available nearby our hamlet, so their extra time will be used for production and reproduction. Under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Samaveshi Vikas self-help groups, more than 1.1 lakh SHGs will be part of. Mission Shakti, Nari Suraksha, Nari Samman, Nari Swavalamban. I believe, according to my education and my grasping power, these things comes into recommendations of NEP 20. Actually, NEP 2020 believes in integrated development of human being, integrated development of education. What is that integrated? A person who has completed MA in English can work in physics department. Physics MSc graduate can work in chemistry lab. Chemistry BSc graduate can work in sanitation ward. A nurse can work as maid servant. Maid servant can work as cook. Cook can work as driver. This is integrated development. In fact, rural people from the whole India, we are all integrated, educated people. I will, especially I'm happy to work at any condition everywhere. Somebody once, when I was in Amrit, asked me, "Do you interested to become Vice Chancellor in Delhi?" I said, "No." Why? They said, "Why?" I said, "There is a reason. Because make me Vice Chancellor in a remote village, remote corner, I will be happily served to people. Because I am not afraid of tigers in Paderu jungle. I am afraid of bad weather in Delhi." And what I am talking about me, it is story of two people. Swachh hi seva. Try to understand. If Prime Minister is talking about sweeping, if Prime Minister is talking about, the whole central government is talking about segregation of domestic waste. If Prime Minister is talking about NEP 2020, it means a focus group has been created, a force has been created behind the highest chair in the land, that yes, we need Swachhata, we need cleanliness, we need garbage free India. We need segregation of garbage. We need clean water. Our water bodies should be clean. Our RK beach should be clean. No, not only in RK beach, in airport you can go and sit and see. We paid 10,000, 50,000 to go to Delhi from Vizag, but we don't know where to put our biscuit cover after eating biscuits, after drinking water. I feel so bad, and sometimes wherever possible I will take it and put it in the dustbin. The proper dustbin, not only dustbin, proper dustbin. This is integrated education. I am a vice chancellor, I am a professor, you are all professor. We have to look into our old age parents. Is it not part of education?
Yes.
We have to kind enough towards our maid servant. Is it not part of our education? We should be kind enough towards our poor student. If she is not able to pay the fees, we should not tell her not to sit in your reward from sitting examination. We tell teachers can collect 100 and pay 1,000 rupees, or request the principal, extend the date, she will be able to do that. This is education. I am not telling this is my education, this is Bharat ka education. Waste processing in India, that I already spoke. Street vendors, a total of 13,403 vending zones have been identified so far. Street vendor, street vendors, everywhere you can see, they sell.
Yes.
They sell small things. They earn 100 rupees a day, not 1,000 rupees, not 4,000 rupees, not 5,000 rupees. But our habit is we will be ready to bargain with that vendor also. Education will teach us don't bargain with poor people, but we are unable to bargain with big marks. It's not possible to bargain in marks. It's not possible to bargain with marks. In marks, we are not only the customer. There are thousands of people, but for a small vendor, we are the single customer. So, government has 42 lakh street vendors are to be provided benefits under PM Swanidhi by December 24. Sugam Bharat Abhiyan, accessible India for Divyanganas. What is that Divyangana? We know much earlier there was no much awareness about these people who are not able to walk, who are not able to sit, who are not able to see, who are not able to talk, who are not able to hear, who are slow learners. Everything is okay, but they are slow learners. I am one among them. I am a slow learner. Do you believe I was a slow learner?
We can't.
Okay, thank you. But identification of the ailment that I am suffering of something definitely will come. Definitely will come. Gramina Udyami project under National Skill Development Corporation implemented in 6 states, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, like that. Other initiatives of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. I request you all teachers and students, we have to focus on skill, Kaushal. We must be able to work one or the other, because I would like to tell you all, please go to website, go to Google World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum will update about job opportunities tomorrow. Which jobs are going to vanish? Which jobs will come up? Accordingly, we teachers have to make syllabus, make textbooks and update ourselves. If you ask the principal, sir, we need to start on skill education, give some course. No, it's not possible. We have to learn. We have to learn and teach. Teachers, according to NAP, teachers should be lifelong learners. How we can become lifelong learners? See, learning, unlearning, and relearn. Learning. We have to learn. We have to unlearn which are not useful. Unlearn. That is unlearn. Relearn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Other courses, I was a Hindi student, but I learned tribal studies. I learned tribal music. Started about tribal health, talking about their psychology, talking about reading about their skills. Yet, monthly I read at least 2 books on tribes. Why? To update myself. Otherwise, I will be outdated in front of you young people. Update ourselves so that we will be easily update ourselves. Going online as leaders, digital empowerment of tribal youth and women through the concept of mentor and mentee. Some days before I read one news, I was so happy. Quintal gold out of garbage. You can work on this. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana for MSMEs. Mudra has created 3 products: Shishu, Kishore, Tarun. Shishu covering loans of 50,000, Kishore like that. 32.53 crore loans has been sanctioned. Loans have been given to SCTGs, try to understand. Poor people, SC, STs, women and transgenders have been given. We have to create a society of literacy. Society of literacy I am talking about these schemes to take benefit of this thing. Anemia Mukta Bharat. Anemia, I need not to talk. Maybe 1 week before I read 37% of Indian women are anemic. Children, adult children, why they are anemic? There is a reason. There is a scientific reason. There is an economic reason. There is a religious reason. There is a zonal reason that we have to come out by our study. I think I am going to complete with these 2 words. I conclude here. One thing I would like to tell about you all. I have taken much time. Many things in a single window I try to put. But one thing I would like to tell you, everybody from every caste, we must read. Sir, we must read Ambedkar series. You will come to know, if you read Ambedkar seriously, slowly, between the lines, between the words, we will come to know for every problem there is solution within me. For every problem there is solution within me, that is will. So, I pray the Almighty, I am a great believer of God Almighty, to give you confidence to upgrade yours. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.